everyone, I am Tanvi. Welcome back to Tanvi's Fun World. Today, I will be showing you how to solve a Rubik's Cube, so let's get started. Before solving the Rubik's Cube, you'll need to know things called notations, or that basically means how the cube moves. So, this is right. This is left. This is down. This is up. This is front. And lastly, this is back. You will hear things called primes, and they're basically the opposite of all those notations I just did. And you'll see things called W's, that basically means you move the two layers of the cube together. So let's say we're saying right 2, you move the right 2 layers once. If they say R2, that basically means you move it 180 degrees to get it to the other side. Now, let's get started. So I'm going to scramble up the cube first so I can teach you step by step. Okay, this is a good enough scramble. So first, there are a couple steps to solve the cube. The first one is to make a white cross, to solve the white corners, to solve the second layer, to solve the yellow cross, to adjust the yellow corners and their corresponding positions, to solve the yellow corners, and finally solve the yellow edges. First, we're going to solve the white cross. So all we need to do is first find white edges that have a white and a color next to them. So we already found one, which is white red. Here's one, white blue, white orange, and white green. Now, what we want to do is make a daisy. So we want to align them to the yellow side so it kind of looks like a daisy. So all the white edges will be like a daisy looking like. So first, we want to put the white edges so they can be facing up like to align the yellow centerpiece. So first, we want to find all the white pieces and align them where we can. So let's say this white piece was going to go in one of these positions. It'd be pretty obvious that if I turned it, it'd be there. Now, if I turned it this way, that's also pretty obvious that it will be here. Now I want this to move down. Now I want it to move this white piece to one of these. So this is how you do it. First, you move it right prime, and then you move down prime, and then you move this right. So then you can go and align it to a white piece. So let's say we want to align it here. But let's say when we turn it over, the white piece is not in its position. So there is a simple process to get it to where it can be like these two. So all we have to do, turn it over to where it's facing the white side, and you do up prime, right prime, and you turn it over to face the yellow side. Now, we've got those 3 in there. Now we're gonna have to solve the last one. To take this one down, as I said, we'll do right prime, and then we'll do down prime, and then we'll put it back up, and then we'll find that piece. And I'll do the same process to get it in there. So if I turn it over, I can just do that same process I just did last time. Okay, now we just have to align these spots in their right corners with their centerpieces. So for example, this white red needs to be going to where it's red, but instead it's in the orange section. These two are correct, but we want these two to be switched. All we have to do is just turn it over to get it to the other side, and we just align this red edge piece to where it's aligned with the red centerpiece. Then we just turn it over and we get it there. Now all we have to do is just align the orange. Okay, so there we go. Now we just have to turn it over to get it to the white side. Okay, there we go. We got a white cross. Now, the next step is to get the corners in their right position and solve them. So all we need to do is, as a reminder, this is the orange centerpiece, this is the green centerpiece, this is the red centerpiece, and this is the blue centerpiece. So this will help us align the corners. So as you see, this is the green, red, and white. We can match them. So green and red would not go to green and orange because that does not make any sense if green, red goes to green, orange. This is green, red, and this is green, red. So these two are the same as these two. So now we can just solve it to get into this one. So this one is the correct position. All we need to do to get this piece to go into here and in the right position is right prime, down prime, right, down. So there we go, we got it in there. Sometimes you may need to do that repeatedly until you get it in there. Now we align this one, which is red, blue. So red is here, blue is here, so we align it there. And we do that same process of right prime, right, down. Now we just keep doing that for the others. See, this is orange, blue, so it goes here. Now I need to do it a couple times just to get it in there. So I just keep doing that until I get it. Okay, so there we go. I got it in there. Now, the last one is orange-green for me. Okay, there we go. We solved the white side. Now, the next thing we need to solve is the second layer. So first, we want to find pieces that don't have a yellow. So basically, I just turned it over, and we don't want to find pieces that have a yellow. So for example, this is a yellow piece. We don't want to use this one. But for example, this is a correct piece. So now we have the edge piece here that we want to align. We first find its down edge piece with its correct centerpiece. So since this is blue, we find the blue centerpiece. So we'll align it. So there we go. Now, do we want this edge piece to go to the left, or do we want it to go to the right? Since this is blue-orange, it would match with blue-orange instead of blue-red, so in this case, it'd be going to the left. There's a process of how it goes to the right and how it goes to the left. I call this one the righty algorithm and the lefty algorithm. So when you want to get it to the left, you turn it away so it goes away from where you want it to go. So we'll turn it right. Now, I'm going to teach you this process called the lefty algorithm. This is how it goes. It goes left prime, up prime, left, up. Then you turn to where it wants to go, which is left, so you turn left, and then you do the righty algorithm, which is right, up, right prime, up prime. So there we go, we got it in there. Now, the next one we have is a green here that aligns with the green centerpiece and an orange up here. Now, green-orange matches with green-orange rather than this green centerpiece with the red centerpiece, so it would be going right. Now, as the same thing, but in the opposite way. So we move this instead from to the right to the left. So we move it to the left, and we do the righty algorithm. Now we move to the right of where it wants to go, and then we do the lefty algorithm. So there we go, we got it in there. Now we just keep doing that, but you may turn into a case where these two are in their positions, but you want them flipped over. So you take a piece, pretend piece that's not supposed to go there, so I'll kick that one out and you can solve it there. So we'll just turn it to the left, since it's gonna go left, and pretend to be there. Then you turn left. Okay, so now it's in there. Now we can solve for the red-blue piece, edge piece. So now we just do that same process. Since it needs to go left, we turn it to the opposite way, right. Do the lefty algorithm. We turn to the left, and then we do the righty algorithm. There we go. And then we do the same thing for that, except this needs to go right. So turn it to the opposite way of left. We do the righty algorithm, then we turn right, and then we do the lefty algorithm. Now we can just do that same process. So there we go. We solved the second layer. Now we want to solve the yellow cross. There are three cases you may turn into. One is my case where you can turn into a line like this, or a horizontal line. The second case you may be is where you have an L shape, upside down L shape, where this piece isn't there, but it may look like this, where this piece is there. Then you may turn into another case where there's no edge pieces, just a yellow dot. So I'm going to first solve my case, then I'm going to teach you the other cases. So first, you're going to do front, then you're going to do the right algorithm, and then you're going to go back as it was originally. Then you got a cross. Now your second case may be having like this, like a 90-degree upside down L shape. So what you do here is our front W, and then you do the right algorithm and you turn it back. And if you have a dot, you do one of those two algorithms, and then you may get into one of those two cases, and you do that same algorithm for that case. Now we're gonna adjust the corners in their corresponding positions. So we just have to turn it and see where it would match. This is not the right, well, these two. See, you may turn into a case where diagonals are matching like me, and then the other two are not. So in that case, you turn to any side. So I'm going to turn to the right side, and then you do right algorithm 3 times here, which I'm going to do. Then you turn right, and then you do the lefty algorithm 3 times here. Okay, so now you may turn into now, since I had diagonals, or sometimes, now I'm just having to solve these two. And now, people who already had this case in the first try, not unlike me where I had diagonals, you may only have to do that same process I just did once. But for me, I have to do it twice since I got diagonals. Okay, looks like we're gonna get it, and we got it in their corresponding positions. Well, I must have done a little mistake here. I'm just gonna, I got diagonals again. Sometimes this is a very rare occasion where you may get diagonals again, and you have to do that same process twice again. Okay, and also I forgot to mention, you may want to keep your solved pieces, you may want to keep your unsolved pieces on the right and your solved pieces on the left when you're solving it. Okay, and there we go, we got it. Now we want to solve the corners so they're like these two. So we're gonna turn it to the other side where the white is facing up and the yellow is facing down. So sometimes you may turn into a case where all the corners are not solved, so they're like that, and then one corner is solved, 3 corners are solved, or all the corners are solved, which is your lucky case. For me, 2 corners are solved. So first we're gonna just turn to where an edge spot is not solved, and then you're gonna do this process. You'll keep doing the right algorithm as many times until the piece turns down here. And sometimes you may be in a case where you're still solving it, but this white face is solved, but you have more corners to still solve. Keep doing those corners, and then it'll still solve again. So let's start it by doing the righty algorithm until it comes down. There we go, and then we just have to, And make sure you don't turn to that position of where it's going to be solved. Make sure you go back. Don't go to that position of where you want to solve it, because move that piece to where you originally solved your first corner. So then that's correct. And if you have more corners to solve, just keep doing that process. Okay, now you may turn into a case like me where your one face is solved, but all the other 3 edges are not. Which now we just have to solve the edges. Or you may turn into a case where all your edges are not solved. So I'm going to do my case first, which one face is solved, but the 3 other edges are not solved. So this is what you do. You do the righty algorithm one time. You do the lefty algorithm one time. You do righty algorithm 5 times. And then you may do the lefty algorithm 5 times. Okay, looks like it didn't get solved, so I'll need to do it again. But as I said, when all your 4 edges are not solved, that means you will need to do that same process I just did. Righty algorithm 1 time, lefty algorithm 1 time, righty algorithm 5 times, lefty algorithm 5 times, in total twice. So I'm just going to do it again, but since I have 1 edge, I only need to do it once. Okay, now I just need to do the lefty algorithm here. Okay, so there we go. We solved the cube. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more videos. Bye!